Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to the channel. My name is Gloved and Scented. Thank you for joining me. If it's your first time here, welcome. If not, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be talking about some new gems in my collection. Very exciting. I've got 5 here. I've got 5 delicious delights I just want to share with you. So without further ado, let's get into this. But before we do, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you never miss a fragrance filled video. So guys, first on my list is one that I've been eyeing for a little while, and even though I've wanted it for a while, the price of it just sends shivers down my spine because it is so spenny. But after trying it multiple times at airports and department stores, I bit the bullet and I treated myself. So what I'm talking about is none other than Bvlgari Tygar, and I didn't settle for the 60, I got the 125 ml. I did test this quite a few times before I decided to buy it. And here we are, gorgeous bottle, that tiger eye there. The bottle is stunning. I can't fault the design. All that gold and that black magnetic cap, very weighty. I can even hold it by the cap itself. Stunning fragrance. The price is insane though, and I think for something so expensive, I would expect it to last just that little bit longer. We'll get into that shortly. So this fragrance is by Bvlgari, as I mentioned before. It's an Italian durian fragrance house. It was launched in 2016, and the perfumer Jacques Cavalier. The notes for this fragrance: in the top we have grapefruit, in the mid we've had ginger and ambrette, in the base we have ambroxan, musk, vetiver and patchouli. So now, performance wise, this fragrance on skin would last 5 hours max, on clothing a lot longer. As I am a hijabi and I do spray on fabric, I spray on skin but not really that much, mainly on my scarf and what have you. It lasted a lot longer. I would say maybe 8 hours max on clothing, 5 hours max on skin. Even though the longevity is not the best, especially for the price you have to pay, I still love the fragrance. And I'm putting it down to, and this is just an assumption on my part, that maybe it is because there are more natural ingredients in this fragrance. That's why it doesn't last as long. I'm assuming that is the reason why, because if it had been like a molecule or molecules in there, it would have lasted a lot longer. Bar that, I still love the fragrance and I don't have any buyer's remorse. I would say projection at arm's length maximum. It's a nice little scent bubble and it works so well in high heat. I believe you could wear it all year round, but I think spring, summer is where it really comes into its own. So my first impressions of this fragrance, in the beginning, as soon as you spray it, you kind of hit with this juicy burst of bitter, tangy grapefruit. Peel back a citrus fruit, grapefruit for instance, and you peel back the skin, you've got the pith that's in between the skin and the fruit itself. That bitter smell from the pith, the way that it tastes, it's the way that it smells, quickly followed by this burst of sharp sweetness. It's absolutely gorgeous, so energetic and so invigorating for this time of year. But then it becomes a little bit dirty. I don't know why, but it just does. Like sometimes if something's overtly citrus, maybe it's the acid, it just makes it become a little bit dirty, but in the nicest possible way. And after a little while, you get the amber kind of kicks in with that ambrette and that ambroxan, really kind of beefing it out and making it this ambery, musky, citrus deliciousness. And this fragrance is pretty linear. It doesn't really change that much. It is gorgeous, and I'm glad I have it, but I just feel that it needs to come down in price because it was launched in 2016, and maybe way back when, I mean, Lattafa was around, but they weren't really doing what they're doing now. So you've got loads of Middle Eastern houses that are obviously duping everything, and I'm sure you can get a dupe that's very similar to this. And that's where, for me, like, if your purse strings are tight, looking at an alternative would be your best option if you do not want to part coin with on this. What I will do in the description bit, I will put alternatives down there. I've not tried, but I do know that Dua fragrances, they do really good kind of inspirational fragrances, inspired by fragrances, and I've got a few in my collection. They're pretty good, and a couple of them are actually better than the original. They do have one, it's called, what is it called again? Doesn't matter, I'm going to put it in the description box anyway so you can check it out for yourself. But if you can get some coins together and get this one, I recommend it. It's beautiful but very expensive, and I wouldn't purchase it again because of the price. I feel they should come down in price, cut corners maybe on packaging. I'd rather a simple bottle and a banging juice any day. But yeah, that's my 2p worth. So that is Tygar by Bulgari. Next up on this haul list is one that I had been eyeing up for a little while, and I was a little bit apprehensive about buying it because of the scent profile and what it kind of represents, in the sense of the era it kind of mimics, because it wasn't made or released in that era, but it is so synonymous with that era. And I'm talking about Jubilation 25 by Amouage. I love this house. It's one of my favorite houses, and I bought this for nostalgic purposes. It does smell vintage, but I'm a sucker for myrrh and amber and rose and those heavy kind of slightly vintage kind of oriental kind of scents, Middle Eastern twist. I'm a sucker for fragrances like that. And yeah, I purchased it, and I have zero regrets because I do love this fragrance, and I feel like this is a masterpiece of a fragrance but can only really be appreciated by a certain kind of person. So this was launched in 2007, and the house is from Oman. If you know, Amouage is a Middle Eastern brand. It's EDP concentration. Now, with the concentration, it's 23% concentration. It spent 6 weeks aging, followed by 3 weeks of maceration, and then 3 weeks of maturing. Insane. And then you're left with this gorgeous masterpiece. This smell is so comforting. It just reminds me of a rich, bougie auntie that goes to galas and special events at museum openings and what have you. Stunning. The perfumer, and forgive me for butchering this person's name, Lucas Siuzak. I'm sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly. My first impressions of Jubilation 25 was this vintage with a slight modern twist. There's this watery, powdery, ambery note with this herbaceous, sweet kind of opening. It's really beautiful. I love this. The myrrh and amber is so present in this. So the dry down are these golden hues of like myrrh laden with ambery, powdery nuances, swells of incense, and soft powdery pink roses. Really beautiful, and I'm looking forward to wearing this. And I want to say, anybody who's below the age of 30 who's not really adverse in the world of perfumery, especially if it's niche quality, will probably think, oh my god, this is so dated, it is so vintage. It does have a vintage vibe, clearly, but it doesn't feel old or grandma-ish. It just feels regal. It feels like an empress would wear this, not a princess, if that makes any sense. So this one, like, it evokes moods of like really structured silhouettes, like really nice power business suits, gold jewelry that's been passed down, not picked up. And just someone that's, you know, someone that's not new money. This is old money. Old money, but she is young and bougie in the sense of she's over the age of 30. Got her life together. Money ain't a thing, but a chicken wing, as they say. This fragrance, beautiful. And the incense is not that strong. It's very soft. And the labdanum in this has this powdery, slightly leatheriness to the amber. Really, really beautiful, and I'm so glad I finally have it in my collection. Again, it's not for everybody. Definitely get yourself a sample, or go down to your, I suppose, your nearest kind of department store that houses niche fragrances, and get your nose on this, because this is really beautiful. Again, you'd have to really appreciate fragrances from a bygone era, and this is like a modern twist. It's not like Plum Picasso or Eden by Cacheral. It's not that kind of vintage. It's beautifully done. And this layers really well Middle Eastern fragrances. It adds that kind of base, that kind of regal empressness about it. And that is Jubilation 25. The notes. So the notes are tarragon, rose, lemon, and ylang ylang in the top. In the heart we have Divana, labdanum, rose, and frankincense. Forgot about the frankincense. In the base we have amber, musk, vetiver, myrrh, one of my favourite resins, and patchouli. And that is Jubilation 25 by Amouage. And I love this kind of dome. This kind of represents like the masjid, the mosque. Got that dome there with the crystal at the top. I think it's Turathi. I love their bottles. It's so beautiful. And that emblem there. Gorgeous fragrance. This is now number 11 in my collection. Slowly building. There's a few more I want from the house. One I'm not sure about, but we will come to that in another video. But yeah, Jubilation 25. Guys, if you've made it this far, thank you so much. I really do appreciate. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell. so that you never miss a fragrance filled video. And also don't forget to, you know, share my video as well, because by doing all these things you really help to push my video through the algorithm, and I thank you in advance. So next up is one from the house L'Arc. This is Balade Tiare Tahiti. Bit of a mouthful of a title. This is from a French house. This is LEDP concentration. I'm not sure what year it came out, but this fragrance is gorgeous. I smelt it when I was in Harvey Nichols in Knightsbridge, and I smelt it and it smelled so familiar, and it smelled a little bit like Peregrina, but something else entirely. Like, I think the rose in Peregrina and that sweetness, you can smell it in here, but it's its own fragrance. What sets it apart is definitely that opening of that tangy tangerine with the rose, and then you've got honeysuckle. The honeysuckle gives this kind of sweet honey polleny kind of vibe in the mix. It smells wonderful. It's almost like you have this thick velvety plushy rose and you've like doused it in tangerine and drizzled honey over it and kind of mashed it together. That's what I'm getting in the opening. It's so nice. It's almost syrupy in the nicest way. The honeysuckle is giving some depth though. This fragrance is soft, but it's kind of dense at the same time. In the heart, we've got peonies, we've got jasmine, we've got tiare flower. So the middle is very creamy. It's really creamy. It's gorgeous. And it's very Moorish, like you want more. Ooh. And then in the dry down, we've got creamy sandalwood and soft musk and a smidge of patchouli. And all together, it just creates this lovely tropical vibe. It's screaming holiday. It's screaming sunlit dinners on the beach somewhere. It's giving summer brunches. It's giving a gorgeous flowy summer dress and a nice pair of heels. It's stunning fragrance. Definitely synonymous with summer. But even though I've said that, you could definitely wear this in autumn, winter, because there's that sweet polleny, and then you've got the sandalwood and the smidge of patchouli and the musk. It makes it great for all year round. So again, it's soft and it's dense, but it works for every season. Very feminine, very beautiful, very chic. And that is Balade by L'Arc. The notes are in the top, we've got tangerine, rose, honeysuckle. In the mid, we've got peonies, jasmine, tiare flower. And in the dry down, we have sandalwood, musk, and patchouli. And that is Balade. Next up, we have one from the House of Thameen. This one was a dislike when I first smelt it. Like, I sprayed it, was like, no, what the hell? I left Harrods, and halfway home, I was like, what is that? And I smelt my wrist, and it was Florentine Diamond. It smelled phenomenal on my skin, and I had to have it. I think for me, the opening with that cacao and mandarin, it just wasn't for me. It just felt like they were both fighting each other, and I wasn't understanding what was going on. It was like chocolate orange gone rogue, as I mentioned before to somebody. But when I gave it a chance, it actually worked out quite nicely. So I find with this, the mandarin paired with the tuberose and the sugar almost gives a slight orange blossom vibe. It kind of reminds me of the orange blossom in Libre by Yves Saint Laurent. Very softly, subtly done like that. But then you've got that cacao adding some depth. And then that sugar cane and that barley, even though it's giving a little bit of this powdery rice kind of oaty kind of vibe. It's soft, but it's there. But for the most part, the tuberose, after a little while, the tuberose and that sugar cane, wowzers, they are really prominent. And this is a very, if you like tuberose, you'll probably like this. It's not bubblegummy, it's just very sweet and candied like, almost like, yeah, candied like tuberose because of the sugar. Then you've got that vanilla in there as well. That vanilla is gorgeous. It kind of heightens the sweetness, but stops the tuberose from being too floral, which I'm really appreciative of, because I do still struggle with like white florals. I'm starting to like them a lot more, but I still struggle sometimes. Then you've got the oat chips and you've got the oud. The oud is just there as a supporter. It is not main character at all. The tuberose and the sugar and the vanilla, all three are giving main character energy. The oud is not. The oud is quite soft, reminiscent of the oud in Oud Nude by Guerlain, similar to that but softly done. Beautiful fragrance, works really well with layering with other fragrances. Like I layered it with Jubilation 25, stunning. The two together, banging, absolutely amazing. I'll definitely wear those two autumn winter because it just smelled like I had money, like serious money, just all over the place. It was great. But yeah, this fragrance though, even though it's 100 ml and it is beautifully crafted, like it doesn't smell cheap, it does smell expensive, it is not groundbreaking absolutely whatsoever. This is good for somebody who wants to leave the designer frags to one side and introduce themselves into the niche world. It's like the go-between. It's not complicated, it's crowd pleasing, it's something that will please the senses, but it's not groundbreaking, but it's still a beautiful fragrance. I got this, again, really good offer. I would not spend full price on this because I just wouldn't, because even though I like it and the longevity and projection is pretty amazing, the scent profile is nothing new, but it is a beautiful fragrance. And I'm a sucker for these bottles, I really do. And if you're a fan of the Thameen house itself and want to know more about them, I do have a ranking video of Thameen. I think I've got like 12 in my collection. This makes 13, I think. I could be wrong, but definitely check it out. And there's a whole list of Thameen fragrances in there and my 2p worth. So I will put a link down in the description bar, or I'll try and embed it in this video. But this is Florentine Diamonds. So in the top we've got mandarin and cacao. In the heart we have tuberose, sugarcane and barley. And then in the base we've got vanilla, oak chips and oud. This fragrance again is stunning, not groundbreaking. It's not going to be anything to challenge the senses, but it's definitely worth a sniff. And you can obviously get samples online. And in fact, Florentine Diamond is a legendary lost gem with it's 137 carats, and it's cut irregularly. I think it's like a 9-pointed diamond or something, and it's been missing since World War I, which is nuts. And that's what this fragrance is based on, because the stone is like this kind of golden ambery colour with the mandarin and cacao and that tuberose and sugarcane. It kind of emulates what that stone must have been like. And yeah, Florentine Diamond by Thameen. Definitely get your nose on it. It's in Harrods, it's in many places, Harrods, Selfridges, and again I'm sure you can get samples online. So last but certainly not least is one by Fugazzi. This is Fugazzi Purple. This one is to celebrate Liberty's 150th year anniversary. This fragrance, because the Liberty, their colour is purple and gold, hence why the bottle is gold, and they use violet in here. And also on the bottle, I'm not sure if you can see, there are some, you have an owl there, you can see the owl if I turn it around. Where's the other one? It's an owl and like a pelican or something. I don't know what they represent, but yeah, really gorgeous fragrance. So in this you have what appears to smell like violet, but it is a molecule called Viridian, and it's reimagined through modern perfumery technology to create this lovely kind of clean, adaptive and streamlined note. So all the notes in here are adaptive because they are molecules, they adapt with your personal chemistry, which makes this fragrance kind of fun because how it smells on me will not be the way it smells on you. So all the notes in this are molecules, which is fascinating to me. So again, Viridian, and Viridian is all these molecules are trademarks. So again, Viridian is a reimagined violet note. It's done through perfume tech. It's more streamlined, it's adaptive, and it's clean. It's almost woody. It's really nice. And then you've got Ambermore. Ambermore is this soft woody amber. It has creamy warmth in the dry down. It gives the fragrance that cozy kind of ambery vibe. Then we have Amber Tonic. And Amber Tonic, isn't that in a Diaz and Derja fragrance as well? Anywho, so Amber Tonic it gives it like a bright, fresh amber kind of vibe. It's sparkly, it lifts and it's clean, and it has a little bit of warmth as well. And it's best for kind of airy ambers and molecule blends. And then we have, I'm not sure I pronounced this right, Opranide. It's transparent and it's a musky woody note. It's skin light diffusion. It's great for layering, leaving a light soft trail of florals as well. And last up is Amber Extreme. Now this one is an intense dry amber woody kind of scent profile. It has massive projection and power, and mainly used in bass notes. It leaves a bold statement, and it's a longevity bomb. And that is exactly what this fragrance is. The longevity in this is insane. This will last forever and a day. I think on skin, I counted 8 hours plus. It was still going. And on clothing, literally eternity. Even when you washed your clothes, you can still kind of smell it. So the best way I can describe this fragrance, it's as if you had Palmer violets, take out that powderiness, because violets are associated with vintage, mum, grandma. It's associated with a lady of an older generation, which can give it this kind of vintage vibe and not really for the younger mass market. What they've done essentially is made this violet with a futuristic edge. It feels fresher, ambery. And so I'm getting this violet that's ambery, musky with a watery like texture, but then another 13. It's like another 13 and a violet been paired together. That's the best way I can explain it. But this fragrance is really beautiful. If you love another 13, Molecule 01, if you like Thomas Cosmoland number 11, think of those fragrances, that kind of realm with the violet. It's beautiful. It's lovely. And what I like with this, you can smell it. You can smell the woodiness. It's kind of dry as well. A tad bit earthy. But oh, it's so fresh. And there's a slight lemoniness to this as well. But I think that is the amber tonic because it's bright and it's a fresh amber and it creates airy ambers. This fragrance, I'm so glad I have it. I had vouchers and I bought it and I got it. With the vouchers, it was like £77 and it retails for like £140. I think this is 100 ml. Yeah, it's 100 ml. And I just love the gold with the clear. It's just simple, chic and elegant. Gorgeous fragrance. Will work all year round, but especially on hot, humid days. Those days where you just don't want anything touching you. Put this on and it just brings energy to your vibe. It makes you feel fresh and energetic, and that's what I like about this fragrance. It was a blind buy, mind you, so I got it online, but I'm so happy I've got it because it's fantastic. And that basically is my newness for this month. And thank you for watching. If you made it this far, thank you again. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And which of these would you pick for your collection? Do you own any of these? If you do, let me know which ones you have and your views, and which ones maybe you want to get in your collection. Again, everything will be in the description box, especially when it comes to the alternatives for Tygar. I will put them down there for you, and I'll also insert my video for my ranking of my Thameen collection as well if you're interested. Until next time guys, stay fabulous, stay scented and keep safe.